You guys heard from the producer master himself, Mike Taylor, earlier. If you haven't, go check out his post on prospecting. I'm always a little more raw than Mike is. So I'm going to be real with you guys today. And you may have seen my caption when I shared his post. But most agencies don't have a leads problem at all. What they have is a prospecting problem. They don't understand the system that they need in place and the discipline that it takes to prospect every day to make sure that they are keeping a full pipeline to keep the agency's lead flow fed. So what does that mean? Your prospecting efforts and your outbound prospecting system is the one thing that you can control 100% to make sure that you have a steady lead flow for your agency. You can't control the algorithms. You can't control who's bidding what on keywords. You can't control who's clicking on the links on your Facebook posts, right? You can't control the impressions you get or who's even seeing the post unless you're paying for it. But what you can control is how many dials you're making a day and how many businesses you're walking into if walk-ins, drop-ins is your thing. But you can develop a system to know exactly how many calls results in X amount of appointments, results in X amount of quotes or BORs or presentations, results in X amount of closed business. Now, obviously you can dial that in with some online strategy too. But you know as well as I do if that's the game you're playing. Algorithms, bids, keywords, SEO, all of that changes all of the time. Your one source of steady lead flow that you can 100% dial in is your outbound prospecting system. Now, let's dive into that a little bit more because obviously our cold calling and drop-ins isn't going to be the only thing we're doing. What does a full, healthy prospecting system look like? Now, that outbound piece we're talking about is incredibly important. You have to have the discipline to pick up the phone or go do your walk-ins. I'm a huge proponent of cold calling, especially B2B in the commercial space. One, it is data mining and it is sorting out who needs your help right now and finding ways to keep in contact with them in the future, right? Gatekeepers are handing out decision maker email addresses like it's Halloween candy right now. Been seeing it for a year. But my cold caller was also setting me 25 appointments a month, making his cold calls. So don't tell me cold calling is dead. It is not dead at all. In fact, it is going to be a huge lead gen opportunity for you and you're missing out if you're not doing it. So your outbound piece, cold calls, walk-ins, drop-ins. Again, I can make 50 calls in the amount of time that it takes for you to go do 2 drop-ins and be just as effective. I think there's a place for walk-ins and drop-ins once you've gathered information and can go actually walk into that business and leave them something valuable that is personalized to their business and get their attention. Just my 2 cents. Number 2, you have to have a social strategy. You're seeing us at Premier Strategy Box put out more content about that. Mick has been going around doing a talk on selling to the modern buyer, how important it is to have an online presence in today's marketplace. The statistics behind how people are buying today are mind-blowing. Many people are buying commercial insurance without ever even talking to an agent. I saw someone post on LinkedIn the other day that they had a $12 million premium BOR off an account that they spoke to one time. Most of the lead came in off of a YouTube video. They communicated back and forth via email, text. The one time they actually spoke face-to-face was to sign a $12 million BOR. You have to have a social strategy. You may have seen my post the other day. When a prospect agrees to meet with you, that means your application, it's like submitting a job application. You caught their attention. But now your social presence is your resume. They're going to go check you out. They're going to go look to validate that you are who you say you are and that you can actually help and solve their problems. And number 3, you've got to have an in-person strategy. And I don't mean the drop-ins. I mean networking events, right? Particularly ones that your ideal clients are at. For me, that's contractors. I attend Contractors Association events, mixers, golf tournaments, masterminds, all of that. I'm involved heavily in those organizations here. So I hope that helps. But you really need to dial in your prospecting system and be disciplined enough to execute it every day. If you haven't, I highly recommend go read the book Fanatical Prospecting by Jeb Blunt. It talks about protecting your golden hours every single day, which is your prospecting time to put prospects in your pipeline. All right, take what we learned today, go be great.